All right, it's the beginning of March and it's time to start tomatoes. Actually, the time to start tomatoes was, probably the beginning of February. You would really want to start them 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost. And on the coast side where I live, the last frost is usually on March 15th or March 20th. We don't actually have frost, so that's kind of irrelevant, but that's just kind of gives you a day or when spring starts for you. So I'm going to talk about 14 varieties of tomatoes that I'm going to sow this year. I'm not going to grow them all. It's a lot of tomatoes, I know, but I like to give tomatoes away and I love to share them. It's great to share plants. So for the first three, let's talk about my first three are my ride or die, the best ones you'll ever grow. I have Sungold, I have Oregon Spring, and I have Stupice, it's written like Stupice. These are great tomatoes. The Oregon Spring will set tomatoes no matter what. It doesn't care about nighttime temperature. It can even take a little light frost. It's a great tomato, good flavor, big, round, red ball. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say, I'm Gardener Coo, and this year, of course, is Nacho. I love Oregon Spring. It's a determinate, so it's a kind of a dwarfy little plant. It's stocky and it sets all its fruit at once. Although on the coast side, it'll set the fruit over a long period of time, and it's just a great plant. Sungold is the best cherry tomato you've ever had. Grow Sungold, no matter what. It will set fruit at low temperatures as well, and has a really short day count. It'll start setting fruit at 60 days. And then my other ride or die, of course, is Stupice, and this is a Russian tomato. It doesn't have the best flavor, but it will set fruit really early, and it'll set it all season long. And it's an indeterminate like Sungold, which means it'll just keep growing and setting fruit until frost or disease cuts it down. Now, for my next group, I'm going to talk about my bigger tomatoes, and these are a bit more of a reach. I need a little more heat in the summer, but usually these will set at least some fruit. So my first one is Azoychka. Yes, there is a Russian theme going on here. They just grow the best fruit setting tomatoes. Azoychka gets these big yellow globes, and the flavor is just fantastic. I found this at a nursery many years ago, and I've been growing it from seed ever since. Do be careful when you're growing things from seed. Sometimes you'll get like weird mutations, or not mutations, like there'll be distortions in the leaf, and that means the seed has been contaminated. Like, not all seed growers can really control these conditions. My last set of Azoychka seeds were contaminated, and I always got these very like terrible plants out of them. They were virused. So I got a new packet of seed this year, so hope from a different supplier. So hopefully it'll go much better. My next one also from Russia is black from Tula, Russia. This doesn't produce a lot of fruit for me, but I get these beautiful like chocolatey purple globes of tomatoes, and they are just the best on tomato sandwiches, which Klahit is obsessed with making. I'm getting a little sick of them, but I know it's coming again, and I like to grow them for him because he loves them just so much. After that is Orange King. Now, this is a determinate tomato. I like that it stays short, and it produces a ton of fruit and these beautiful orange globes. They're glowing. They're not like golden, they're not like red, they're orange. And I love me some orange. My next reach is Black Krim. Now, this one I really do need a warm summer for. I grew these one year and I had the most wonderful Christmas harvest. It was insane. Coming up, Freya. So it was, I think, during lockdown. And yes, on Christmas Day, I picked like 15 of these. And it was just, they were fabulous. I remember taking a picture of it and sending it to my friend in Atlanta, and she was just so mad. Oh, I just loved sending her my winter peppers as well. Anyways, but Black Krim, it's just amazing flavor, but it does take a while to ripen up here, but it can take a little bit of cold, so give it a try. And my last one of my tried and trues is Juliet. Now, this isn't my favorite tomato in the world. It's kind of like a plum-shaped tomato. It's good for sauces. Like sauces you freeze or can. But I'm trying it again this year because I have had the introduction into my garden of early blight. And what early blight is just like this black, it looks like a fungus that's growing on the stems and the leaves, and it just completely kills the tomato plants. And of all the tomatoes I could find, this was one of the few that is early blight resistant. I did grow one last year called Defiant that is also early blight resistant, but I found the tomatoes to be pretty boring, like pretty cardboardy, so I don't want to grow that one again this year. Although, to be fair, my Defiant plant is still alive, and we are in March, so it is really quite defiant. But anyways, back to Juliet. It's early blight resistant. It's great for sauces, and it gets these fruits in these long clusters that I haven't grown this one in quite a few years, so I'm doing it again just to see if it'll work. Now, going on to my next group, we're going to be talking about my new ones that I'm trying for this year. So I'm trying out Puck. Puck, I did a lot of research on it. And it's from, it was, I think, grown predominantly in England, and it sets fruit at really low temperatures. So that part I like. It's also a dwarfy. It gets 1 to 2 feet and gets still a decent sized red tomato. Another one I'm trying is Bundaberg Rumball. Now, this one comes from the Dwarf Tomato Project, which you can get from Victory Seeds. They just grow these determinate tomatoes that stay short, and they're much more manageable in the garden, unlike those indeterminate monsters that try to eat everything. This one is another chocolatey one that I'm trying, and I'm hopeful it gets fruit about this big. And yeah, fingers crossed. It says it's 60 days, but I don't always believe that. And then my last one that I'm trying out this year is Sun Dipper. This one is an orange tomato, and it has like a little like Coca-Cola body shape to it. So it's supposed to be really good for like crudité platters or whatnot. And it's orange, so I'm always going to try an orange tomato. It is at 75 to 80 days, so it's probably not going to work, but I gotta try. I gotta try. And now for my last group of the 14 is my itsy bitsy micro tomatoes. I love them so much. They are just so cute and small. They get to about a foot, and they set just a ton of these cute little cherry tomatoes. One I sold last year at the neighborhood fair was Tiny Tim. They were just covered in these red little fruits. They're also great for like around Christmas time. I love to just get them ready, have the fruit ripe so they look like ornaments, and then decorate them like little Christmas trees and give them out as presents. Tiny Tim has a great flavor and also does really well in the garden. I plan to plant my little micros kind of as edging for my big tomatoes. This year I'm changing my tomato culture a little bit. I'm going to put individual valves on each individual line of water so I can really cut back on water once they get to size. I think I've been watering them too much because the rest of the garden needs water, but they don't need as much water once they're at fruiting size. Another micro I grew was Orange Hat. These things are adorable, great orange little cherry tomatoes. They're, pretty light in acid, just good flavor. And then my last is also an experiment, and this is a 75 to 80 day micro tomato, but it's a cocoa. And this one has beautiful chocolate cherry tomatoes, and I really hope it works. But who knows? We'll see. It's an experiment. Anyways, I'm Gardener Coo here with Freya and Nacho, and go get your hands dirty and grow, grow, grow tomatoes.